Welcome back to the Bravo stream. It's Clutch here alongside Dave Walsh, and we have OMiT versus Majin Club to finish the night off. OMiT coming in as the 11th seed, Majin as the 7th seed right now, the second best European team we have. And to me, Dave, when you look at these two teams, this could be a banger of a series. This can be a very close series. I'm looking to see what OMiT can bring from the previous series. We saw them earlier today. I know they got 3-0'd, but it was a close one. I felt like they left a little bit on the table with SSG, and now that they're playing Majin Club, a team much more in their skill caliber, I would say, they have an opportunity here still to make it into bracket play through the winner's bracket if they win this series, and then, of course, the open series tomorrow.
Yeah, and the reality is both these teams have been eyeing each other when they come into pool play here. Long gone are the days where North America doesn't focus on the European teams. You're no longer afforded that luxury. We've been, quote-unquote, upset too many times, or there's no surprise in it anymore. It is these guys know how to play, and they're the real deal.
Right. ZMightys and TchiK, some of those players that have had those success. Sxptiq and BastosS are really the question marks here coming into this series for Majin Club, but right now, being put on respawn. OMiT having a great first set of slays, a good progression on hill number 1, but as I say that, Majin Club is going to be inside that hill. LethuL going to have to wait for his team to respawn here. Sxptiq is going to have the shock rifle inside of the hill right now, a dangerous position to be, but nobody able to finish him off just yet.
That's the most frustrating when you're like, somebody's got to have a nade. No? Anybody? Somebody? Nobody? All right.
Eventually that nade did come through. Sxptiq goes down. 3 go down for Majin Club, and it looks like OMiT have done just enough with this hill being tied that these next fights will decide hill number 1.
Yeah, this next battle right here could very much decide who's going to get these last 5 seconds or so inside the hill. Looks like LethuL's kind of, I don't want to say desperate, but just committing. Both he and his teammate jump inside the batteries. It gets challenged here by TchiK. Can he win the fight? It's going to be LethuL walking ahead in that one. That's going to be 1-0 here for OMiT.
Yeah, TchiK checking behind every battery but the one LethuL was behind, and LethuL gets that first shot onto him. And because of it, LethuL able to kill TchiK and find a way to get his team the first point. And that's a big point. That hill was highly contested. And already you see OMiT in this second hill, so they did a great job of rotating as well to set themselves up for early success in the second hill to pair with that first point.
But looking at how they're going to follow up for this new hill, what's going to take place here down in the blue pipes? It's going to be TchiK grabbing some of the first time. And I don't see anyone really from OMiT having a good angle. I mean, they're going to have to push all the way on through. It looks like they're going through pipes, and that's going to be difficult to actually really get anything done here because at this point, Majin Club, they're going to be able to rotate. They're going to be able to answer this. And before they know it, this hill's already half over.
Yeah, Huss can't move off the batteries. TchiK doing a great job of getting info, not just on Huss, but on the player that was going top glass as well. So a good rotation for Majin Club to be able to deny some of the push from OMiT right now. They are going to lose 2 members. It's a 2-on-2 situation. Spartan LethuL versus Sxptiq and TchiK. But TchiK in the hill already with about 80% of progression. This is beautiful for Majin Club to get right back in this game. But here comes Spartan LethuL. They win the 2v2, so they're going to have map control for now. But they have a lot of work to do if they want to hold down this hill and go up 2-0.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, on one hand, you don't want to panic and just charge straight for the hill. On the other hand, you can't take your time and go all the way across the map. You can't give the opposing team 70% of the hill just to get that one stop on him.
Big play by ZMightys there. He's hiding behind the boxes. It's the one place that Sparty does not check, and because of it, he pays for it with his life. That's going to give Majin an opportunity to get right back in this hill. But as I say that, they do lose ZMightys, BastosS, and TchiK after that kill came through for ZMightys. So a good job of OMiT to be able to deny any footsteps that might have been in the hill from Majin because they are so close to capping this hill, but so close doesn't cut it. And when Sceptify finds the first pick from the hill with the shock rifle, they're going to be able to have an opportunity here to go up 2-0 in what was 2 very close first 2 hills.
This is devastating here for Majin Club. They were so close there, especially in that blue pipes, and to lose that one. I really did like how Sceptify stood inside the hill with the shock rifle. Some people think, I have the power weapon, I must get out and go do something else. And that hill specifically, your fights are all going to be those long-range fights. At the closest, you'll have somebody maybe come over and pit near you. And even then, you're having a great shot to take someone's face off.
And that first pick was everything for OMiT to go up 2-0 here. Now the pressure onto the elevator players for Majin. It is a 3v2, and this information is known. Majin stuck bottom elevator, and here comes Sceptify. Sceptify finds both. The sandwich from OMiT from the kneeler position comes through. Camo just came up, and that's Huss's Q to try and make it to bottom middle quickly before respawners from Majin can get there. He is going to get that camo, but he can't get away with it. The camo gets burned. Still, OMiT with the elevator control, that's predominantly what you want in this situation. They're going to have an opportunity here to defend this third hill for Majin pushing across the kneeler right now, but it does look like they flipped. The player did get out, and now all of Majin's stuck at elevator. Let's see if they can fight their way out in the 2-on-2 situation.
Yeah, I mean, the score looks a little rough here for Majin, but they still have plenty of time on the board. You got 2.5 minutes. They have control of elevator, or at least they have a fighting chance at elevator, and they can easily get themselves back in this game. So I'm not too worried for Majin. It's not like it's over. It's not like you're in a bottom center hill and they're nowhere near it. They can bring this one back.
Sxptiq actually transitioning to mouse and keyboard throughout his career. Let's see if it pays off here. 6-3 and 10, not the start he wanted, but such close hills for the first and second one. He's going to be in charge of denying that time from dropping and progressing this hill in Majin's favor, trying to make it a one-cap game. But here come OMiT. LethuL in your face. Can you take him down? Can't quite hit the headshot until now. It was an ugly fight, but he gets the job done. Stays alive at elevator, even gets his shield back. More members of OMiT eating multiple grenades, and that's exactly what Majin Club needed to do in order to potentially cap this hill, making it a one-cap game.
Yeah, they're giving themselves all the opportunities that they need to get themselves back inside this one. Leaving plenty of time here for hill number 4, which is exactly what they're looking for. They don't want to put themselves in a do-or-die situation this early in the game.
2 minutes and 16 on the clock. The hill moves to blue plat right now, so we're going to see if Majin have the opportunity to rotate before OMiT can get there. There is a player in pipe. zMightys knows it, hits him with the combo, forces him out towards the grapple position. zMightys going to push all the way across top gold into the glass area, and that kill does get cleaned up. So now, with numbers advantage, you have to think OMiT may be where you want to be on this map, but not with the numbers in order to defend it. Sparty's able to get a kill, and actually a second kill from Sceptify denies the rest of Majin. The timing a little bit off with that push.
Look at this oscillation back and forth. You saw zMightys and BastosS pushed in towards long haul. They realized they lost numbers. OMiT had numbers. They wisely back up and then re-engage once they have full force again.
Yeah, they do a great job of not staggering their deaths and denying a lot more time going in the favor of OMiT. OMiT is going to have this hill about halfway, but Majin seemed to have an opportunity to break it. TchiK can't hit the shock rifle shot until now. He's able to finally get that kill, but I believe camo gets dropped. 3 go down for Majin, and this is OMiT's map to play around. LethuL, camo, shock, and he is the player to watch right now, as a minute 40 on the clock might not seem like a lot of time, or might seem like a lot of time to us now, but if OMiT can get this hill and go up 2 hills, that clock is going to be a problem for Majin Club.
2025 LethuL with camo and shock rifle and doing the OBJ right here. Gotta do it all, I guess, at some point.
Yeah. I'll do it myself, he says. Let's see if he can hit the no-scope on the player right in front of him. Unfortunately, because he's in the hill, camo's easily spotted out there. He gets taken down by zMightys, but the rest of OMiT do a good job to trade some kills out. The last man alive standing, I believe, is Huss, and he's going to be in that hill and caps that hill in OMiT's favor. It's going to be a 2-point lead now for OMiT. A minute 30 on the clock, and this bottom mid hill is one of those hills, Dave, where you can really buy a lot of time and flush players out, and that clock all of a sudden becomes a win condition for OMiT.
Yeah, whereas clock was not win condition not too long ago, all of a sudden you are correct, Wes. They're just gonna slay here. OMiT doesn't have any requirement to force down here. It's such a vulnerable position, and they're gonna let Majin go in 1 by 1, pick them off, and drain this clock down slowly but surely.
Huss does a great job to deny some hill time with some perfect shots on the TchiK right there, getting his team even further in the win condition department right now. You feel the pressure on these members from Majin. Even though you don't have really complete control, they have to get in the hill and stop that clock.
Yeah, they got to go through, but one thing that's really interesting here is Majin's doing a great job focusing on other spots across the map. Nobody there from OMiT were just desperating into the hill. People are a little bit wiser. They're taking some smarter routes, stronger positions, and Majin were in the correct positions to stop that. Just when it comes down to winning a gunfight, it's not the easiest thing to do. You're going against some of the best players in the world.
Okay, 3 go down. This is the moment of truth for Majin Club here in game 1. They get 3 down. They should have complete map control. That's going to be a complete team wipe now for OMiT. They're coming off respawn. Should be spawning in the pipes and glass area right now. Majin have the exact setup they want. How efficient can they be here? They need to have almost a perfect hill to leave 38 seconds on the clock and make sure that they buy themselves enough time for a potential sixth hill.
Yeah, it's not just the one hill. It's got to be kind of back-to-back and 2 back-to-back very vulnerable location hills. But they're doing it so far. I mean, they're getting the time on, and that's going to be hill number 1. That was the toughest part. Now, can they do this with the protection of the batteries?
Yeah, camo is going to be an awesome tool to have in your back pocket right now as you try to advance towards the batteries and stop this clock. 24 seconds, but look, OMiT are playing in the sneaky and inside pipe, so they're going to have positions above the members of Majin in this hill. It's a double kill for BastosS. That's massive as he's 22 and 20 right now, trying to play his life. Still that camo becoming a factor. Can they spot him in the hill? Huss is going to drop without being able to spot him. That's a free kill. That's going to stagger the respawners. This is a doable situation if you're Majin Club, but you have to find success continuously here in order to make it happen. TchiK able to find a kill, trying to grenade anybody potentially dropping down. It actually rocks LethuL, and because of that, 2 kills from a hill guy has got to be enough for Majin Club right now. Over 80% of this hill almost tied up. 20 seconds on the clock. Seems like it's not even going to become a factor as TchiK has done it for Majin Club once again.
We're seeing so much panic there from OMiT. They just need 1 round of slays, and then they could pick up anyone run towards batteries. But heroic effort after heroic effort from players inside batteries, getting all the kills they needed, and Majin Club back in this game somehow.
Yeah, you never want to catch yourself dropping down into batteries without knowing where that player is, especially if it's a camo player. But a great job by the members of Majin Club to tie this one up. Time was not a factor, and now it's first to 1 hill. The hill currently controlled by Majin Club, and a kill onto LethuL, staggering the opportunity once again for OMiT as another player's coming off respawn momentarily. This is going to be such a difficult push for them because the pressure is on the hill over 50%.
Yeah, and this is tough when you're OMiT, kind of just crumbling in this position. Last time, they were able to revert the second hill, if you recall. So, not unwinnable. You remember at the very beginning of this game, Majin Club got this around 70%. OMiT got control and took off to a strong 2-0 lead. Can they do it one more time? Don't know. I mean, Majin Club just playing so strong. They're winning all their individual battles. It feels like OMiT are panicking. You can see it in their decisions. You can see it in which way they're facing when they go into some battles.
LethuL's got players in front and behind him, and they're fighting from the hill at this point. Last player alive is Sxptiq. He's bottom white, taking shots. He's going to end up grenading himself, and because he can't create any space, he's actually a staggered respawner himself. Although Majin Club are moments away from stealing this game 1, there's still work to do. You have to break this setup. Sceptify not going to let them in white for free. He's going to find the first kill. He does take a stick. That's a big trade for Majin Club. The hill player is surrounded from bottom middle players right now, but 2 assists come through. LethuL picks up a massive double on not just 2 players, but a camo player gets taken down, and that's going to do it. OMiT find a way to once again come back in that final hill, and they win game 1 outright.
OMiT finding a way to somehow make a 3-1 game, which seemed like it's pretty sealed up. They were in a great spot into a nail-biter going to the 7th and final hill.
I told you this series could be close, and if game 1 is evidence for you, this series could go the distance with how close each one of those hills were, how close that game was. Unbelievable ice showed from both sides, but it was OMiT that broke the setup, the double kill from LethuL onto not just any 2 players, but one of them having the camo. You had to think
that was the game changer for sure.
Once they got that camo, that they thought that they were going to win, but I mean, LethuL, right place, right time, gets that double kill and earns OMiT that first game victory.
Yeah, a little panic from both teams at different times towards the end there. In the end, OMiT able to clutch it up. I thought it was just Jover as soon as they had lost that 6th hill and then going 7. I'm like, dude, that one. It's one of those games that you kind of shake your heads like, guys, what happened? Why did we not win over on hill number 5?
So easy to have momentum slip and you just not be able to regain it up until like game 2 starts or whatnot. Yeah. But a good job by OMiT to find a way to close the door on that one. Finally, it probably feels like, considering the significant lead we saw them have up 3-1 with just a minute left. You think, all right, all we got to do is keep them out of the bottom mid-hill. But a perfect setup for Majin and back-to-back hills made that game 1 as interesting as it could be.
Yeah, and final before we go out is shout out to LethuL there with most damage dealt there in the game, followed shortly behind by Mighty. But if you look at that, he's about, what, 1,500 damage, 1,600 damage-ish ahead of his next teammate, Spartan.
Yeah, you can tell LethuL and Mighty's were shooting in game 1. We'll be back, and we'll see who's shooting in game 2 here shortly. All right, back into it. OMiT up 1-0 against Majin Club. Game 2 of the series is going to be Aquarius Team Slayer right now, and it looks like Sparty has made his way with the camouflage down to bottom middle. He's able to stay alive for now, but let's see if Majin Club can collapse on him. They're able to negate that camo, jump off to a hot start, up 2-0, getting that camo off the map that was once in control of OMiT. It's a great start for them to rebound here in Game 2.
Yeah, it's kind of the start that they needed here. LethuL trying to push on up, get a bit more in the action as he didn't want to force too many spawns just back in that base. One of the worst things that can happen in Slayer is all 4 of your teammates in one spot on the map.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to have that space and spread out and honestly trap them in that one spot if you're able to. And it looks like Majin Club were able to have a little success early on doing so, but now OMiT a little bit more spread out, and Sparty catching a player off guard, able to find a second kill as well is big time for OMiT right now, as they not only take the lead, but they get it by 2 kills right now. Sparty doing a great job to try and do as much damage as possible before going down. He gets information, players will be spawning over at red. So this is Sceptify's job to just hold pink and wait for reinforcements to be able to push.
Yep, just laying down shots, giving some info, realizing, hey, the push isn't coming just yet, and now he has some teammate help. But damage on both of them. They have to decide, are they retreating or are they holding their ground?
Yeah, they try to hold that ground, but those grenades from the respawners are so strong. TchiK makes his way to top car, gets a nice angle on those 2 players. That's the opening. First 2 picks, no one's able to trade any of the damage out on the side of OMiT, and Majin Club regain the lead 10-8.
And let's see what Majin Club do with this. Can they get OMiT stuck in one quadrant of the map? But nope, OMiT a little too smart for that. They're already pushing out towards the util, still holding on their base, just keeping a couple different angles. Doesn't even matter if it's a lower spot across the map. Just not being in the exact same location just eliminates so many options from the attacking team.
Right.
They no longer can hide in your front courtyard in front of your base, whereas if you were all stuck on the flag, those spots now become power positions.
Yeah, absolutely. And as we say that, TchiK with the stick and a get out of dodge onto Huss right there. Beautiful job of not only getting that kill, but making sure he doesn't get traded out. Because of it, now he's part of the push for the rest of Majin Club. They find a couple of assists. The last 2 players are going to be stuck on the flag. Huss trying to predict TchiK with a grenade, but TchiK too wise to the occasion, able to dodge the grenade, and those kills get cleaned up. It's a 4-0 sweep, 17-9 now. Majin Club starting to get a massive lead here.
These can start to spiral out of control. I mean, on a map like this, yes, you can get a lead and roll those advantages and get some extra slays, but it's not quite the same as other maps where you have a sniper rifle or an overshield, which kind of have some more strong guarantees towards kills and no answering returns.
Right, the power weapons, there's not really any power weapons. This is all teamwork trading out, and you have to think Majin Club have put themselves in such a fine position to tie this series up now. 21-10, a lot of game left, but 11 kill lead now for Majin Club is exactly what European fans wanted to see from this team. The pressure stays on. zMightys able to get that first pick, able to stay alive, and we're continuously seeing how strong this Majin Club team is at finding that first pick, but making sure they don't trade it out.
Yeah, and just like that, gosh, his sense is quick when he's whipping back and forth with that mouse and keyboard.
On board with TchiK now, spots a player across the map, but knows he has to worry about his own side right now. LethuL going to be trying to pressure him from the generator, but he's got a teammate that spawned right with him, so LethuL's going to have to back down, realizing that it's a 1v2, and unfortunately caught with his tail between his legs. TchiK able to take down LethuL there. The rest of the team for OMiT is going to be pink side, trying to push into red, but they're a little bit too late on this push, not able to capitalize on the focus that was once on LethuL. And let's see what they try to do now. They try to go back to pink. LethuL's able to respawn, able to at least trade a kill out, but trades are not going to get the job done. Down 19-30, make it 16-30, I'm sorry.
Yeah, they have too much work cut out for them. I mean, once again, I almost called out OMiT at the end of last game saying, all right, they kind of blew this one's over, but you know, nothing's impossible. The biggest difference, though, in these Slayers is the opposing team that has a large lead has the option just to slow it down, play different, go for trades. You don't have that same luxury afforded to you in something like Objective.
A bunch of unanswered kills go in OMiT's favor here. Not just a 10-kill game. What was once a 14-kill game gets reduced to 11. As OMiT flipped the map right now, it's very important that they find kills without trading, and unfortunately it looks like that's not going to be the case. A good job by Majin, like you said, Dave, to slow the game down and find kills where they're given the opportunity to, just to make sure there's some sort of trades going in their favor.
Yeah, before there's a lot of times where it's hey, back down, play your life a little bit more. Whereas Majin now in these situations is, if I'm close to you, they're pushing right up for that melee trade. Yeah. They're trying to put a 3-shot melee.
Comfortable lead here, still at 10. Camo is up, but nobody quite in the position to go for it. It's a 3-on-3 on the map right now as 2 players are respawning on each side. LethuL's going to be top pink, but he didn't expect Sxptiq to jump up here. Sxptiq trying to focus on several different players, but unfortunately, I think that's going to cost him his life there as LethuL enters the fight. Pink 1, he's able to get that kill, but immediately traded out. A great job by Majin to find opportunity where they can and continue the lead still at 11.
Yeah, this is the same position they're kind of at before. It was 11-kill lead, but now it's at the 38 mark. They will happily climb closer and closer to that 50 number by just trading or keeping the lead that they have. So Majin doesn't have to do anything spectacular. They already did that earlier in this game. That's the thing you have to keep in mind is at certain points when you have 2 even or strongly contested teams, somebody's going to have to get the edge at one point. They did that in the first half of the game. The rest they get to ride out. Now it's up to OMiT to pull off something miraculous. And
if we're looking at anybody, it's Spartan with this camo needs to find a lot of success. A double kill is a good start. 9 kills separate the 2. Make it 8. Spartan still with good time on this camo right now. Needs to get back involved in the combat loop. The camo does run out actually, as he had to have it for the last 45 seconds. A little bit of the deficit made up, but you still have so much work to do, and unfortunately Huss goes down, and a split spawner over at blue is going to make this even more difficult as they have angles from both windows now.
Yeah, and I think that player at blue kind of really threw a wrench into OMiT's plans. They thought they had them trapped over at yellow and over at yellow util. Instead, they have somebody back on their side getting that opening kill, and even here we didn't really get to find that player just yet. Spartan did a whole lap around the base, realized they bailed out towards Fridge, and it was over.
Right now, it looks like 3 members of OMiT stuck in the engine, and they're not going to be able to get out of here successfully, you'd have to think. But Spartan does some good damage to deny some of the push, but here comes Sxptiq, here comes BastosS. The teamwork, the perfect shots from BastosS will reward Majin Club. 47-36 is the lead. 3 kills to go, and they will tie this series up.
Just like this, over and over again, these members of OMiT are kind of going into a 2v1 over towards util, and BastosS and crew said, yeah, we'll take that one again. Yeah, we'll happily fight 2v1.
Yeah, we're pretty good in these situations.
I like those odds.
Finds the double kill, finds the 50th kill for Majin Club. It's a 50-38 victory, and it was really all of Majin Club playing so well together in that game that it was never close. It was always Majin Club in the lead, and it was just a matter of by how much.
Yeah, it was. They won it early on, as I said before. They got up by like that 10-14 mark, and throughout the rest of that game, from the 30-kill mark on, they went even. They just went even in Slaves of OMiT and closed that out in a convincing fashion.
Majin Club tying the series up. This is a series that could go the distance to end tonight. It's a 13-10-7 performance. It's a 15-7-7 performance from Sxptiq and BastosS that were the standouts here in Game 2. We see Majin Club tie this series up, and both of these games have given you promise to believe that 3, 4, and 5 potentially are all going to be bangers. So stay tuned. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back. Bravo as we kick off Game 3. It's going to be oddball on Lattice. Series is tied up. Majin Club 1-1 after a nice Slayer performance on Aquarius. Early ball time. It looks like it's going to Majin.
I like this play by Majin, too, because they saw all these members of OMiT were so backed up towards blue and towards crates. It was like, they have to cross the entire map here. If those players were maybe a bit closer to center, towards like QT or towards tower or something, this would have been a terrible grab, but they did it perfect.
Yeah, they read the situation perfectly, and because of it now, look, awarded very early ball time. You wait, you get 16 points, and now it's time to slay. Let's see if they can hold off the pressure from OMiT. It is going to be 3 going down. The Sceptics and Mighties are in a 2v1 against Spartan. Spartan gets the first kill. Spartan gets the second kill. You lose both. And Spartan says, I'll do it myself. He takes down both members in the 1v2 situation. 3 members coming off respawn for Majin, and everyone on the map just saw what Spartan did. You know that he's starting to get loud, and that could be exactly what the doctor ordered for the dog to get hot.
That's what we talk about when we talk about the X factor of Spartan. He's one of those players, when he's hot, he is hot. And you almost half expect those things to happen.
Yeah.
You saw that battle going down. It wasn't like, oh, I wonder if he could do this. It's like, he's about to do it.
I said it's a 1v2 with Spartan. I was like, hey, I don't know. We're going to need some teamwork here. And they didn't have it. Spartan Bit of an overheat there as he chows with the snipe. Does hit the body shot, allows Huss to pick up an easy kill. Good teamwork by Huss and LethuL there to finish off the last player alive front the base. It's going to be ball time, going back into OMiT's favor, so Spartan doing a phenomenal job to give his team opportunity to stay in this round, and with that, his team has shined and now in the lead.
Yeah, his team would actually be down around 50-0 right now if he did not win that 2v1.
But since then, they've made some plays to get themselves back into it. So what one player's play can transition to is something that I think really tells the story of competitive Halo right now. It is going to be OMiT's setup getting broken after just a 32-point setup, but highly contested still round one is, as all of OMiT going to be coming off respawn. It should be Majin taking the lead here. Not by much. We'll see how long it takes OMiT to break this setup.
Yeah, Majin trying to watch blue carefully over here, see where they're going to make the moves from. And it looks like BastosS is doing a great job, like laying down so much damage and not taking any in return. Yeah,
spots Huss front the base as well. Good comms to be able to get information on that player being weak, and because he gets that kill before Huss can turn that corner, it's an opportunity for maybe Majin to keep this setup going. But where did Spartan the dog go? He's behind you as he picks up another assist. He gets the ball in his hand. zMightys goes down, 3 go down, and although Majin did get that narrow lead before their setup gets broken, OMiT breaks it on the first push, and they jump back in the lead here in round one.
And look at this difference kind of in strategy here from OMiT. Seems like they, rather than sitting back at red, are being aggressive right in the very front of blue. They're going near pipes. They're going near crates. Now, does it pay off? It doesn't in this case, but you can see a difference in that strategy, Wes.
Yeah, a massive mistake, I would say, right there from the OMiT side, trying to be overly aggressive. The snipe was up. They wanted it. They got it with the quantum. He quantumed out, but kind of let the rest of the OMiT members that were helping the sniper out to dry, and with that, the setup gets broken once again. So both of these setups, both of these opportunities for setups, I should say, Majin Club and OMiT, are being broken necessarily on the first push. We haven't seen a strong hold just yet. We'll see how that continues as this game continues to go on. It's still just round one. There are 3 points that separate the two. OMiT currently in the lead, but narrowly. These kills so important. TchiK making him work for it, but eventually he goes down. zMightys going to get a bottom white spawn. That's pretty favorable, but it's still a 3-on-2.
Yeah, we're going to see. We're not going to see this ball picked up immediately until they feel clear.
Oh.
Safe, and just a second too late. There was 3 down for Majin, and they weren't able to grab it. Sceptify has the blue spawn, says, I'll let them spawn blue. I'll sacrifice myself. We'll get the ball over here. But you got to wonder, this setup's kind of already broken. The fact that there was 1 free kill there, you're going to have other kills coming out from OMiT, which they do answer with zMightys and TchiK going down.
That fraction of a second between the ball resetting and him being able to pick it up probably costed OMiT about 20 seconds of ball time before a potential break of the setup. But the setup gets broken. No time was awarded to OMiT throughout that process. They do have the ball in hand now, but what the lead could have been is the big question. TchiK still trying to break into this setup. Unfortunately, a player front the base he doesn't expect to be there takes him out, and that's going to allow what really feels like the first setup hold is going to be here in this game 3.
And oh my God, some moves there. It's not just only Spartan that can pull off those plays. BastosS, single shot left, takes down Spartan.
The Lord giveth and he taketh away as BastosS wins that 1v2 situation and right back in the lead. His team is about to be Majin Club. Crossing that 73 mark, he's actually going to drop it and slay. He feels the pressure coming, but maybe not from the right direction. Huss behind enemy lines now towards red ramp. He is going to jump into this window and try to play his life, but eventually going to get hunted down before they can even take the lead. So these setups, not very strong for Majin Club, as we haven't seen them really be able to hold it. But this player on the back ramp, this is a massive 1v1, and he's got a little bit of help from his friends outside by ice. And now finally, Majin Club with a little room to breathe. You would think take the lead, but they dropped the ball, just as I might say that.
You know, they decide to just caster's curse you right there. They want to, make you look a little foolish.
Just get that last point before you do it.
Just 1 point, just to make, just here to gain the lead, instill that confidence in the team.
Yeah.
But these players, when in doubt, they want to slay it out. They're going to drop and make sure they get that first shot, because that's the difference maker in a lot of these battles. Sure, we've seen a couple turnaround fights here, which have been insane, where somebody's here, 1 shot, is able to hit that. But a lot of these other fights, more than 50% of these fights are determined by who's getting that first shot at this level.
Yeah, Huss doing a good job to take down TchiK. TchiK was starting to heat up with that snipe. Hit the first shot on the Sparty, but can't quite get the other kills. And now let's see what Huss is made of. Spots BastosS out in the open. That ball in a very neutralized location, so it's going to take a round of slays before anyone able to pick it up. It actually resets top middle, so once again the ball resetting. Who's it going to benefit? 2 go down for OMiT. You got to think Majin are going to be able to pick up this ball, and with only 13 points to win the round, your ticket to go right now for OMiT has already been punched. 3 go down for OMiT. It's up to Sparty the dog. He's in no man's land, getting caught out from all sorts of angles, and it will be Majin Club taking the first round here in Game 3.
Yeah, there's no one from OMiT that's going to be in position to stop that one. Like you said, round 1 going in their favor. But a lot back and forth, and you're right there, Wes. I don't feel like we're really seeing either of these teams hold a elongated full setup.
Yeah, and ball was predominantly over towards that red area. I'd be surprised if we don't see one of these teams switch it up and try and get this ball towards blue. Maybe a much better opportunity at actually holding some of these setups and playing your life a little bit stronger. But it really is all about those first picks. Once again, we see Majin Club winning the opening break, kind of prioritizing that oddball. You see Zmitys kind of throw it down, but then opt to slay once things don't go in his team's way. 3 members do go down for OMiT, however. Sceptify, the last player alive, he gets taken down, all 4 dead. And now Majin Club have an opportunity to say, where do we want this ball? Do we want to bring it towards blue? Sparty is going to spawn blue, so right back to red we go.
I'm actually a little surprised. Zmitys was right near the QT, sees it once again, just says, nah, not worth it. I feel like I've heard differing opinions on this. I remember, listening to LVC broadcast, and Eli was saying he thinks that this is the best map out of all of them for QT and its use. I kind of tend to agree with that. I don't know. What's your feeling on the value of QT on this map?
I would absolutely agree, especially with the size of the map and the routes that are taken. Having that QT in order to be able to rotate to some of these positions that are so difficult to keep eyes on, absolutely. You want to be able to cover as many lanes as possible, and I think that QT does allow players to relocate and have involvement in combat loops that are going around across the map. But you never want to give up your life, and if you're not comfortable, you're not comfortable. So that's maybe what Zmitys is thinking right now. The setup once again gets broken over at red. Majin do get 23 points unanswered, but it is now OMiT's time to shine here. If they want to push this to a round 3, they need to start holding some of these setups a little bit longer.
Yeah, broken once again. And it does feel like some of these times there's, I don't want to say unnecessary deaths, but players that should be living a little longer or in stronger positions, like they're getting some early picks on the sniper as an example, and it's like, yes, they made a great play to get that sniper, but also at the same time, the sniper arguably caught off guard, didn't have the information, didn't know they were pushed that far out on ice.
You can tell it's a new map by just the scrappiness. A lot of our oddball maps that you've seen in the past, the ones that have been played for 4 years, the setups are traditionally stronger by the pros that have been around for so long. But this being a new map mode combination introduced to the HCS for this event, still teams figuring out what they prioritize, how they want to hold some of these setups, and it's going to haunt whoever loses this Game 3. Right now it's a 19 lead, in favor of Majin. They did win round 1, so they're looking stronger here, and they're starting to pull away here in round 2. OMiT on the ropes for Game 3.
Yeah, we're going to have to see what they can do here, because Majin, they're seemingly slowly eking away with this, but OMiT, I wouldn't say they're out yet, but we're also not really seeing the life out of them that we need to see. We saw some bark from Spartan early on. We saw some life. We saw LethuL putting up big numbers, but it hasn't really transpired into much else.
Yeah, it can't be 1v2s that keep you in this game, because that's not going to happen
that's
often.
A once-in-a-while thing that you're like, all right, saved us that time.
Yeah,
we won't play in that position again, my guy.
Relying on the Spartan 1v2s is not a recipe for success, but right now, they're able to get around the slays. They have the ball into red, maybe get some information that Sceptify is using to maybe questionably rotate this ball across top middle back towards blue. The red setup has obviously been favoring Majin Club, having won round 1 predominantly with red setups. Right now, though, Zmitys and TchiK, they find kills in the kill feed. A bit of a challenge from Sceptify.
I don't hate that one, actually. Found out there's someone weak out there. You were going to get hunted in red. That, I think, is a calculated challenge.
Wanted the double kill, but unfortunately left the player no shield. And that ball gets right back into red, where it appears Majin prefer it to be. And with that, Sxptiq starting to push out on some of the first initial pushers. Finds LethuL as well, and beautiful rotation and heads up swivel here from Sceptify finding the double kill. The last two players are going to be towards the ball, however. The ball carrier does get taken down, but look at this, Dave, 93-31. And that's Sxptiq just playing his life knowing that they can play so slow in these situations. Does lose the big gunfight to Huss, but you need a lot more from OMiT if they want to even come close to making this go to a round 3.
But it was just perfect position there by Sxptiq that entire time. Didn't have to do anything too flashy. Went in and out, just spaced himself perfectly. He was next to 2 different players throughout that time and backed away where he needed to, challenged where he needed to. And yes, maybe didn't execute in the fight against Huss, but like I would take better or perfect decision making over somebody who's hitting a couple extra shots sometimes.
Fish in a barrel for Huss as he finds a double kill bottom river right there. And is that what the Dodger ordered to maybe get OMiT back into this round? 95. You got to play perfect from here. No time can be awarded to Majin if you want to win this round. And I like this aggressive play by Huss. He's going to push towards the boxes, and it rewards not just 1, but 2 kills. You got to come back towards your ball carrier now because overextenders on the other side have been the problem. TchiK finds a kill, Spartan finds a kill. All 4 down for Majin. A quantum in your hands, and now all of a sudden this is a very doable round.
One more rotation, one more set of kills here from OMiT, and they have round 2. Can it strike twice? You were just there. I feel like you can't pull the same trick 2 times in a row like that. Huss was like, hey, this worked out great last time.
You're getting hard cleared the second time, I promise you that. You've been called out. And because of it, he loses his life. A great attempt from LethuL to get not just 1 kill or an assist there, but LethuL able to pick up both of those kills. I'm sorry, Sceptify goes down, but great distraction, great way to buy time for LethuL to find that double, but still more work to do. The ball still on red ramp, but here comes OMiT, finding kills, making it difficult for these last 5 points. 92 and climbing now. OMiT right back in this round. A couple of kills will make this round go in their favor. In fact, the ball in no man's land right now. The ball carrier does get taken down. Majin Club make it to the ball. 3 go down. Huss in no position to stop this ball from being captured right now. 7, 8, 9, and that's going to do it. Majin Club will win this round miraculously. You thought OMiT climbed all the way back, but just like the Hill game, the team that was in the lead finds a way to close the door at the last second.
Yeah, that desperation in the end from both sides, killing the ball carrier, killing the return ball carrier, and just was not able to work out in the end there for OMiT. But, man, was it scary. They somehow pulled that back, but I think the bigger problem is that we're just seeing OMiT put themselves in some very difficult positions that they have to work out of.
Yeah, that ball being where it was at the end, I was very surprised that that was going to be like the idea of a rotation for OMiT. Obviously, it doesn't work out for them. As we take a look at the stats, it's really BastosS that popped off, 31-19. One of the newcomers over from Europe, and man, is he shining as bright as ever. In a big series for these teams because the winner of this puts themselves in a great position to potentially go into winner's bracket early when champ bracket does appear tomorrow afternoon. And on the other side, LethuL, 26-26. That's the best we got over on the OMiT side, so you need everybody else to kind of pick it up because you know you saw glimpses of Spartan having success. You saw good decisions being made from the rest, but the setups were weak and the teamwork wasn't as strong as the side of Majin Club, which we've seen for 2 games in a row now.
Yeah, just back-to-back times. Just feels like Majin just seemingly making better decisions. You could also argue at some points maybe having the better shots. I feel like you saw great individual plays out of a lot of these players out there, specifically that Sparty double kill sticks out of the way, that BastosS out BR against Sparty as well. But overall, I feel like when it just comes to decision making, I think Majin is just playing a little more calm in smarter positions as long as they're at the very end panicking at the end of a game like we saw.
We'll see if that continues to game 4. We're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we'll see if OMiT can push this series the distance. Welcome back, Bravo. Last series of the night. Could it be the last game, or will we see a game 5? Majin Club up 2-1 on OMiT right now. And let's see if OMiT have any fight back in them. Right now, we're on board with TchiK. He's going to get taken down. A good job by the members on OMiT there to kill that overextender. But in the meantime, Sxptiq has found himself the sniping on a mouse and keyboard. The S7 can be so deadly if this player can catch fire. Let's see what Sxptiq has in his bag of tricks for us here. Now that he's got A under his belt, it is going to be early control for OMiT, but still you got to worry about this S7 anchoring the back of house.
Just playing real patient there. I like that play from Sxptiq. Just letting OMiT come to him, taking his time. Another thing I'm just noticing a lot here from Majin versus OMiT is Majin are making themselves difficult kills. They're buying that extra 2 or 3 seconds every single death, whereas it feels like a lot of times OMiT are just committing, and they're out in the open. They're saying, all right, I'm fighting this one to the death, and hopefully I win this fight.
Interesting decision by Sxptiq here. He actually drops the snipe for BastosS, so that tells you a little bit about BastosS just here and there, right? Like, he must be the predominant sniper for his team. And he has camo. I guess that's another.
That's another factor.
I'm not dropping it for anybody. I don't care what power up you have.
I also noticed whenever someone has that camo and they're like, oh, give me the snipe, they never say how much camo they have left.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, you have 3 seconds left. Do I really need to drop this? What's the point, man? Go take up some more ground somewhere.
Hell, if that
Kick
works,
rocks.
I'll just say I had camo last life. Drop me the snipe. But right now, I mean, BastosS at a 5-1-1 start. It's everything you could ask for from your camo player. Unfortunately, it doesn't translate into score because OMiT up 47-4. It is going to be Majin Club finally getting into B, but as I say that, TchiK gets killed, and not only that, but the reset comes through. So a great job by OMiT to answer back from maybe a poor performance in Game 3 and start off Game 4 the way we want to see OMiT play, at least early on. 57-4 now as the contest for B here continues on.
Yeah, couple big kills right there. Now we're going to see Majin finally putting some points on the board. I wouldn't be surprised if they try to trade B for A, but I don't see them forcing anything here. I think they're going to try to let OMiT make the first move and then react. So let's see how they decide to play this one out. Looks like Mighty's going to get the entry kill onto Huss. Trades it out against Spartan. And looks like the play is push in towards A, but BastosS with the QT in his back pocket gets out of dodge.
Wow, what a play. The quantum back, and he gets that kill on the Sceptify as well. Buys just enough time to make Sceptify believe he's not challenging him. And look at this. It's going to translate not only into just a trip cap, but camo is up as well. Can they get this camo? Big shots on the Huss. Those are perfect shots on the Huss. Another player milking his life. Gets him to no shield. All the damage in the world gets done, and Sxptiq gets the benefit from BastosS. Absolutely popping off there. Gets his team to camo. A trip cap, and already Majin Club with the lead.
Yeah, BastosS is not missing right now. I'm actually really excited to see what damage he has at the end of this because even in a time right there where he gets the assist
what a shot.
instead of his teammate, it's like he got 4 good shots in that player as he was half shield or less.
Dead to rights, too, on the scoreboard. Camo snipe once again in the hands of Majin Club, and maybe the need wasn't there to push, but the want was there to push, and he loses both the camo and the snipe. It's going to be all 4 down, and maybe Majin Club scratching their head as far as we had complete control. We had the power up, the power weapon, and kind of just threw it away there. A little disrespectful push to OMiT. OMiT make them pay for it, and only a 30-point lead. But as well as OMiT have started this game, it feels like Majin's still in the lead and still dictating kind of the pace of this game so far.
Yeah, even at the beginning when they weren't getting the points on the board, like you were saying, it felt like Majin were still in control. BastosS still racking up slays, and so they finally got the OBJ working in their favor. But we're going to have to see if OMiT can start to answer back some of these kills. I mean, some of these times when players are running hot, they can only run hot for so long. You can't expect it all game, all series, every single moment, every single fight.
Yeah, unless they're on Optic Gaming or Shopify Rebellion, then those players never stop getting hot. But right now, we're seeing some great play from these lower tier teams, we'll call it. And Sxptiq able to jump into the hill, get a contest, but LethuL able to find not one, but knocks another player to no shield. But that player is going to be able to play his life and keep control of B. Gets the reset, gets the quantum. BastosS once again at 11-4-3 continues control for Majin Club.
And argue again, that's just better positioning, better decisions there from Majin.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't do anything spectacular there in B. Turned, they rotated when they had the numbers, traded out melee, traded out shot, got the reset.
Doesn't have to be flashy.
Yeah.
Camo coming up here shortly, and the battle for camo right now, Sxptiq versus Huss. Huss is going to be forced to back down. He was knocked to no shield. He's going to relocate towards the key door. The timing is going to be there. You have to think for Sxptiq to know that Huss has got to be playing around this. They're not just going to give this camo up, and there he is. Huss gets spotted. Another player can't quite get the melee, but the damage gets done. 3 go down. Sxptiq, the last player alive, can't deny the camo from going over towards Majin Club. Sxptiq in a very difficult position here as he has to fight yet another player. Everyone on his team coming off respawn. They do jump into A, but as well, Majin Club will jump into B to just flip the map.
Yep, perfect help there too from BastosS. Knowing that, yes, there's a bunch of threats over in Garage, but he helps his teammate get the double team over towards the dice. And then, right just like that, they keep this BC set up. Nothing flashy, nothing special.
I love the juke where he acted like he was going to drop down bottom middle, able to get nice shots on the LethuL, maybe lessen the push that was going to go on to B right now, and immediately has his eyes set over towards A. LethuL's going to be forced to try to come back to A, but dealing with this camo player is going to be so difficult, and already BastosS able to transition A into his team's favor and then relocate top middle. Does challenge Huss there. Huss gets the better of him for what feels like the first time BastosS has lost a fight here in just a little bit. 3 go down for Majin Club, and finally, although the lead is 100 points in Majin's favor, we see OMiT with a trip cap.
Yeah, trip caps can get out of control real quick, especially if they're able to secure a couple of these kills right away, just like that. Sceptify, help his team get back into this. Just like that, was a 100-point lead, now only a 60-point lead, and it continues.
Yeah, they're staggered respawns right now. You got 2 players in A. They're going to choose to back up. An interesting decision. I like to be able to push the gas, in all honesty, but if they don't have the numbers or the shield, then I do like that call, and let's see if it pays off. TchiK going to get caught with his pants down bottom middle. Sceptify able to take advantage of spotting him from the hole, able to drop down, but somehow they lose B without losing really the numbers right now. You don't want that transition because these points are so crucial, every single one of them. They do jump right back into B after getting a couple of kills, so good job by OMiT to retain B. It's a BC hold for now. Camo not up for a few more seconds. Let's see if they can transition this into camo control, which would really benefit OMiT to get back in.
Yeah, and I agree with you that entire time. It felt like it's okay to pump on the brakes. You lost somebody. You don't need to throw away your trip cap and just give them the free kills. But losing B, which felt like kind of, hey, you're playing defense at this point.
Yeah.
You should be defending the areas that you
At
still
some point,
have.
you got to defend something.
Yeah, you can't just run away until one person's gone.
Oh, that's tough. Huss trying to maybe potentially dictate some of the camo play, but not only does zMightys get away with camo, but he gets flanked and therefore gives Majin Club A control as well. So it's an AC hold. Untraditional, but it can work, especially when you have camo and Mighties.
It'll be a temporary hold. They'll eventually give up one of these strongholds, whether it's A or C, in order to capture B. But one thing we have to give credit to is OMiT closing that gap. They were down by 100, now it's only down by 30 because they did a strong 3-cap and a 2-cap hold. Damage is done. That's exactly what you're looking for when you get control like that. It's okay to go on a 70 or 80-point run. That's perfect.
Spartan shooting a ghost, and Casper, the friendly, gives you a stick on his way out. A double kill was massive from Sxptiq. You could tell Spartan knew he was there, but he couldn't land any of the shots onto the camo player, and because of it, 2 kills go in favor of Majin, and all of a sudden now the time is ticking, Dave. They're over 200 points. You're down 50 plus, and these lives are going to be the last lives you have tonight, and potentially gets into the elimination bracket if you can't make a play from here.
Yeah, TchiK trying to desperately push it back towards A, recapture this one. But it looks like they're going for their own trip cap temporarily. Let's see how long they can hold this for. OMiT, this is not what they want to see. They thought they were getting back into this one, but all of a sudden, trip cap, they need to stop the bleeding.
Oh, TchiK with 4 shots, couldn't get the 5th one off. They are going to give up A, but it's a BC hold for Majin Club. 30 points is all they need. A 1 round of slays, and I swear this series is going to be over in favor of Majin.
I don't know what they need to do to get out of this one. Last time they tried the pushes all the way towards cut and all the way towards C, but I don't think they have that sort of time. Seems like they gotta force it towards B at this time. But when they're going out through that little garage door, it can be so difficult from Nest.
Yeah, Huss able to get that kill and able to get into the stronghold immediately. Stops the scoring for Majin Club. Starts the scoring for OMiT. 163 and climbing. You gotta be nearly perfect at this point. You get 2 kills in your favor right now. Do they push the trip cap is the question. Camo will be coming up, so another obstacle to try and juggle on this comeback.
I don't think you force the trip cap, but as soon as the opportunity presents itself, you go for it.
it.
You gotta go for it because you can't just hold a double cap for 80 points if you haven't done the rest of this game.
That might have been a big 1v1 won by Mighties. I know he had the first couple shots, but great job by him to find himself in that position to be able to get A in their favor. It is going to be Sceptify jumping into C, but the reinforcements for Majin Club off respawn are going to be able to defend C. They're going to get the resets. 10 points in climbing, and now OMiT have to make a decision. Is it A or C? We got to get in something.
Sxptiq able to defend both right now. Knows that they're going towards A. Tries to help his teammate TchiK. Not able to stop them in this case. OMiT at least extend the game a little further.
They do have 2 down, however. It's up to Spartan and LethuL to try and make a play here. B is going to be converted. 4 points is all they need. Spartan gets taken down as he glides through the air. He gets removed from the map, removed from the series, and it's Majin Club upsetting OMiT 3-1 here to end the night.
You almost got to argue maybe not much of an upset. I mean, the seeds might be true. You got the 7 seed versus
True.
11 seed.
True. Majin Club making their names known. They have an opportunity to come out of winner's bracket and place into that championship bracket here. If they can beat the open bracket team tomorrow morning, they put themselves in a great position against this OMiT team. OMiT, at best case scenario, will be starting tomorrow. If they beat the open bracket team, they will be starting in the elimination bracket, having lost this series and the last.
Yeah, they got their work cut out for them for this event, and they still have to, like I said, you still have to beat the open team. There's an open team out there that is hungry, that went through a long bracket, and they are ready for this match.
They smell the blood in the water right now. They probably watched that series and said, this is doable, right? So we'll see what those open bracket teams bring us tomorrow. But that's going to be it from Dave Walsh and I, and we hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see you bright and early.